What's up? The lovely people out there supporting Shift Out of Neutral. Thank y'all again for tuning in to another episode of Shifting Out of Neutral. Hopefully, y'all month is going good, y'all week is going good, but ultimately, y'all day is going good, and y'all staying safe and staying blessed. We got a great episode today. Very going to be a talkative episode today. Just like last time, we got some great guests here. As we love to invite people to our space here to, push the shifting out of neutral topics forward. I'm living with kings. I'm gonna go ahead and let our guests and our other hosts introduce themselves, but don't give yourself up too much. We're gonna dive into your builds and stuff a little bit later for as far as the guests. I'm shifting. I'm Laquan, living with kings. I'm gonna let my other hosts actually introduce themselves again as well.
I'll start off. What's going on, everybody? Y'all know me. I'm Tonio the Quiet Storm. One of the hosts of Ship Out of Neutral, and I'm happy that you all are joining in and tuning in to us today. Hopefully, y'all enjoy this talk for us today.
Yeah, I'm Q, Modalytics on most of social media, but yeah, we appreciate y'all coming in and watching today. All you deuces.
What up, y'all? It's Deuces. I'm out on all platforms. I'm back in the building with my boys and my sister over there, and we're gonna do a bid tonight.
All right, so the hosts introduce ourselves again, obviously, and then now we're going to introduce our guests and talk a little bit about your builds, the type of car you got, and then give a little information, a little pizzazz about your build as well. You can start Shark Machine, then we're gonna go with Shaq.
Okay. My real name is Courtney. I go by Shark Machine because of my vehicle. I drive a 2019 Dodge Charger SXT, so it's the baby of the Mopar family, which is okay. I chose the SXT because I wasn't more worried about like the horsepower, but just enough for me to enjoy and still have still fun with it, but on my own terms. So Shark Machine came from the movie Jaws because I love Jaws, grew up with it. Can't go wrong with having a good shark, but I also wanted to do sharks because they're misunderstood. I'm misunderstood a lot of times, but that's what makes me so unique. So the main focus on my build on my car is, if you have seen it around or on social media, is based on mental health awareness for someone who works in mental health, who's dealt with mental health my whole entire life, still battling with it every day. So every day I have good days and bad days, but it's a living day-to-day process. And so I wanted people out there in the world to know that they're not by themselves. And it's not knocking any other causes or any other, anybody else's struggle and stuff. But mental health, I feel gets overlooked a lot. And a lot of people don't want to talk about it. So I just felt for a female at the end of the day, it's okay to talk about it. So my build is honestly took me 4 years to do. I got it wrapped with mental health, different quotes on it. One of my favorite quotes is Maya Angelou, and I still rise on the back of it. So that really touches home for me. I did some modifications to my car, but I think that's the biggest that stands out for me is, I thought that was my dog at one point. Oops. I was like, I do feel like seeing my car and just hearing people talk about my car, it makes me know that I've done something good. My car touches somebody, one or two people a day, even people at my job. And so I don't know. I think I can go on forever, but
Hold a little bit for her questions.
I will hold a little bit. Sorry.
That's cool.
All right, you go ahead, Shaq.
My name is Shaquille, Swag Pack Shack on all platforms, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I've been building my car since 2017. I got in 2016. I started building in 2017. And I started changing. I got into the whole car scene and the social media thing by accident. I was like, I see a lot of people got car pages. So I was like, let me just start a car page. And then, I went to a car show, I lost. And then that just kind of like made everything spiral from there. So then I was like, I don't like to lose. I'm very competitive. So, scrolling through social media and getting ideas on what to do, how to do it, put my own little creativity behind everything. I change my car wraps and rims every year. And the main focus of my car now is to represent my wife because she passed from meningitis. So I built that car around her and to represent her. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
All right. Perfect.
All right,
Well
I like
said. Thank you, Shark Machine and Shaq, obviously sharing your builds and the story behind your build. The one thing that Shift Out of Neutral has been obviously dear to all the hosts as well, is we are trying to shift our mindset on away from cars into how our cars are, implemented in our daily lives. So the title of our episode today is obviously first cars and first lessons. Um, I wanna basically open up the floor and I'm gonna tell you what I mean by that. So it's basically I want you all to think about obviously stories within your first car that obviously taught you about independence, responsibility, and freedom. This is an open forum for all of us to just rattle off. What do you all think about when you think of your first car, and what was the first lesson that you got from that first car?
Well, my first car, I'll say this: the first car that what made me grow up was when I bought my first car, which was a 2010 Chevy Impala, and that taught me the full responsibility, car payment, insurance, keeping it up, just the everyday maintenance, and then the moment something goes wrong, you fix it, something else goes wrong. So it's just and it also taught me like the priorities of like, okay, I got a flat tire. Do I need to change all my tires? No. Go and see if it's, pluggable. Don't just think that you have to go and buy first, all your tires all new and stuff. So that was the first thing, because I just put so much money in it, didn't know how to do anything. But when I lost in an accident, my Impala, that made me value and cherish, okay, whatever car I get next, truly take care of it and know what I need to work on to just keep it daily running. The big stuff will come. I don't have to get all the big stuff all at one time. It's just like baby steps. Don't get caught up in flashing things. Like, take care of yourself of getting from point A to point B. So that was my thing. Is my Impala taught me a lot.
All right. She said, don't be flashy. Anybody else got anything else to add?
I feel for me, my first car was a 2003 Mitsubishi Galant, and the lesson I learned from that is like, this car stuff is not cheap, because when it came time for brakes and stuff like that, like rotors and stuff, I'm like, whoa, like, it's how much now? So it's like, okay, now I got to figure out how to get this car fixed. And I'm like a teenager, and like I'm not working no big time job or nothing like that. So it was like, I wanted a car. I was happy with my car. I was on top of the world. I had so much freedom with the car, but it's like, damn, I gotta figure out how to do what I got to do to make sure that I can continue to run my car, and like tires and all that stuff. Like, it was crazy. So,
they're not cheap.
No, at all. And as I got older, they only got more expensive because my taste got more expensive, and it just, yeah.
Yeah, you always wanna upgrade. Yeah, I mean, even now cars get expensive. Yeah, I mean, I remember I wouldn't even say like you, like Courtney. My first, I wouldn't even value my first car. My first car was like A to B kind of like thing. But when I bought my first car, that was like I'll say my first brand new car. Because I bought my used car, like I didn't have it that long. I think I had it like 9 months. And then I got tired of like car payments and stuff, so I like sold that junk. So, but my first brand new car, I bought a 2017. In 2017, I had bought a 2017 Hyundai Elantra. It's actually the first car I started. Like I actually got into the car world with, because I kind of like fell into this car stuff. I'm a video game person, so that's a whole nother expensive hobby. But yeah, so I had bought my 2017 Hyundai Elantra, and I bought it as a college graduation gift to myself. It was just like something just to get good fuel economy and everything, like not real affordable, like not supposed to like cost me a lot of money. And then like I remember like it sat in the yard for like a year because I was like so scared of driving it. Not because I thought it was gonna break down, but just simply because like I wanted to keep low miles on it. So like I never drove it for like a year. And then at the end of that year, like I started like, but I had like a Chevy Malibu. I was working for a company at the time. I had a Chevy Malibu that I paid like $2,000 for. It was an '01 Chevy Malibu. And I had that car, I believe that whole year. And we had an ice storm here in North Carolina, and the gaskets broke on it, like in the engine. And I spent 2 days with my uncle tearing down the engine in the rain, rebuilding the engine, and it ran for all of 2 days, and another issue happened. And I spent the better part of 2 weeks rebuilding the whole engine, spark plugs, gaskets, all this different stuff. And I finally like looked at my mom and I was like, yo, bruh, I paid $2,000 for this car. I got 160,000 miles on it. Man, forget this car. I got a whole car in the yard. And so I called the junk man. He gave me $500 for the car, and I got rid of it after I had spent probably thousands of dollars at that point trying to get it to run and changing thermostats, water pumps. And then I had my Elantra, and I remember I drove it to work one day, and I was like, man, this is really nice. And I started getting on. That's when I started getting on Instagram and seeing people in like Korea modding like all different types of cars, and I was like, this is crazy. Like, and I did a wrap on it. I did an exhaust. It took me 3 years to like build the car I wanted to, and I had like the hottest. Like, they only built that car 2 years, and I got it the first year, and I had the hottest one on Instagram. It was people in California copying me. It was back when I had like a whole bunch of followers, and I restarted. But I learned the value of like you said, cars cost money. Like when I bought it, I didn't have like a huge payment. I was paying like $400 a month. It was a $30,000 car, but I put money down. Like it wasn't like I was in a bad financial situation or anything. But I never would have imagined that like you could turn something into what I turned it into, and the cost that it would like. I mean, I probably over 10 grand in that car, which seems small now considering the car that I drive now. But I definitely learned that cars were real expensive, and the cost of ownership as well. Because before that, I was a college student. I lived with my mom, and you know, when you're a kid, you kind of take for granted like living in your parents' house. They paying all the bills. You're not really having to worry about. I didn't have to worry about car insurance, car payments. I didn't have to worry about phone bills. I didn't have to worry about my own food. None of that. And when I got my car, that completely changed everything. Like it was like I had my freedom, but that freedom came with a cost because now I gotta put gas in the car. So every time I want to go somewhere, I'm like, dang man, I gotta go to the gas pump. Man, all right. And then it really made me, like your parents when you have kids. Well, I don't have kids, but like my mom used to say, like when you have kids, you'll understand. And
Yeah.
that's really what it came down to. And I had like my own car because I used to be like, yo, mom, why can't you just take me down the street? Like it's like nothing. We hop in the car, like let's go here, let's take a trip. But once I got my own car, it was like, yeah, I understand. You know, I make a decent amount of money now, but even now, I'm like, do I really want to put gas in that car? And it teach you that like that's the one thing and having a car taught me like is that ownership cost. It costs to be the boss. So,
Yeah, yeah. I would say, for me, man. I mean, my first car, like everybody else, my parents got it for me. I was in high school, um, driving it back and forth, school, home, football practice, whatever. And far as the value of it, I mean, I definitely valued my car, because I'm like, hey, I can go out and drive around, chill, do whatever, but as long as buy by your parents' rules or whatever, be back by this time, But hey, I was able to enjoy, a little bit of freedom like that. But when it's like y'all said, when it started breaking down, whew, I tell you, man, I had my first. Matter of fact, my first car was an '85 Nissan Maxima. It was blue, and I drove that thing till the wheels fell off, until it broke down. So, so after that, then traded in, got a Chevy Beretta at the time. So I enjoyed that car too. Um, but it just basically teach you how to take care of stuff, because other people ain't gonna take care of it. So only you the only one gonna take care of it like you want to. Everybody else, they just gonna say, throw it away or whatever, or do trash or whatever in it. So I guess the value pretty much just taking care of your stuff, man, and it'll last a long time. So that's basically the lesson that I kind of learned from you know getting those two cars. And but then when I finally was able to, when I got older and became adult, buying your first car and stuff was a 2000 Nissan Maxima, and I love that car. That car was nice, but them payments, oh, I mean, the payments, at the time I ain't have a wasn't making a lot, like Q, like you said, but you value your car because you're gonna take care of it. So
yeah, when that payment come out of your bank account, you value it a whole lot more.
exactly, exactly.
When you sign the paperwork, you be like, I said I got this, but when that payment hit, that 30 days or 45 days, whatever go by.
Exactly. And it go by quick.
All right, y'all. My first car, man, it was a 1991 Fox Body Mustang LX. I didn't have a car in high school, so we ain't had the money. So I think when I graduated and I was in college, I worked at Hardee's, and my first two checks was about $500, which is crazy, boy. I was working a lot of hours. But we took that and we met this older guy that lived up the street from me when we grew up, and he had a bunch of Fox bodies in the woods. So we literally had that car pulled out, man, and it was burnt up because it caught on fire because he said he was smoking a cigarette. He thought it blew out the window and it flew back in, and the whole interior. So, man, when we looked at it, man, the seats are burnt up. The ceiling was hanging and all that. It was crazy. But I learned a lot with that car. I learned that, like, if you really lock in and take your time, you can turn anything into a masterpiece, man. And I really to this day, people said I had really locked in with a lot of people. I had an upholstery guy I met that I'm still locked in with. I had a painter and all that. We painted and brought it back to life. And people to this day said it was one of the cleanest Fox bodies around, man. I learned like what my potential was. And I also learned one thing that everybody got to take into consideration: check y'all gauges at all times. Boy, I can't even tell y'all how many times my joint overheated, and then by me not paying attention, it caused way more damage, man. You'll learn a lot with Fords, boy. You got to check them gauges Because you'll blow a head gasket, and that's more and more, more and more damage and all that. But yeah, always keep an eye on them gauges, y'all. Save you a lot of money in the long run.
Wow. Everybody seemed like they had the same common
cool. I
theme.
love Fox.
I swear, I wish I still had it, boy.
But everybody had the same common thing about the common lesson, obviously, which obviously when you get your first car, how expensive it is. For me, my first car didn't come till I was 21. I was a junior in college. It was a 2006 Ford Fusion, a V6. So I thought I was doing something because it had a little V6 in it. I thought I was driving fast.
I love the Ford Fusion though. Man, they were nice.
I thought I was driving fast till I got into a V8. But
Touche.
it was a car that I kind of love. The only thing I hated, it had leather seats. So in the wintertime, in the summer times, it was something that you didn't
You ain't had them heated seats.
It was 2006. There was no heated seats. So it was like you had to just deal with it. So
The sun heated them up.
yeah, but that was only in the. But if it was super cold outside, it was.
You had a wake up call. That boy had a wake up call.
Yeah. You got in the car, you instantly just woke up. I'm telling you, you was not tired at all because your back is frozen right now.
And you gotta wait for the car to heat up.
Yeah.
You went there.
That boy.
See him breath in the
Man, and the crazy thing is, I love that car. The name of the car was Lauren because I had a infatuation with Lauren London, the actor.
Nunu, aka Nunu.
Yeah. Every time I went somewhere and I introduced the car to people, I was like, "This is my new car."
Oh my goodness.
The funny thing is, the lesson that I learned from that car, just like young, not young, but young into like having a car and that being my first car is like when you get your first car, you recognize how much you have ADHD and you cannot sit down and how much you just want to drive everywhere. When I got that car, I was living in Virginia. I was, like I said, I was in college. So hey, let's go somewhere. Let's go somewhere. I cannot sit down. Let's go to the mall. Let's go here. Let's travel somewhere. And I was just in the car, just driving, I got that car with 70,000 miles on it in February. By June, I was at 100,000. That's how much I was driving that car everywhere. So it was just like,
you had that gas money, did you?
we was living off of the financial aid, man. So it was just like it was just school and work. So
you was getting a refund check. Yeah, you get the refund check.
Yeah, we got that
refund checks was life.
I remember waiting on the refund check. I mean, I used to go to the office like, "Hey man, when that refund check coming in, bro?"
Watching the bank account hard, waiting for that check to come in.
Well, I called my bank, say, "Hey, can I turn on the text notification when deposits hit my account?" Turn that on. As soon as my account hits zero, could y'all turn that off? Because I'm trying to my account is at zero. Man, that was like the one thing that I learned, man. It was like I was on the road, man. I was driving everywhere. My sister said, "You do not know how to sit down. Are you a college student right now?" And she was just like, she always just like, "Where are you at now?" And we were just driving everywhere. That was one lesson. But also one of the other major lessons is just like, I had a lot of friends just use me for that car as well. A lot of college friends who didn't have cars. And that was the one thing that I kind of grew out of too, is just like everybody need a ride. All of a sudden, people you haven't heard from need a ride.
Mm-hmm.
And
Can you take me down the street?
And then
I got gas money, and they don't.
They, and then the crazy thing is this: they will say they got gas money, and then you pick them up and take them where they go, and they hand you $5.
$5.
You got
That would be
the
crazy.
gas money they got before they get in the car. Like,
That was
I got a minimum at least 10.
hey, you live and you learn, man. You live and you learn. That was like some of the lessons that I learned from my first car. Now it's just in the cars I got now. It's like I'd be quick to be like, hey, if you ain't got no gas money, you ain't getting no ride. But ultimately, I just be like, no, I ain't driving you nowhere. But that's kind of like the lesson that we learned. Obviously, everybody else has some good lessons that they learned from their first cars as well. One of the other topics that we want to talk about, I know some of us, the hosts, has built up some questions for the next segment of the episode as well to ask, obviously, Shark Machine and Shaq about your builds, about what went into it, how long did it take, I'm gonna let the floor up for my other hosts who might have some questions about your build as well.
Tommy, you want to start?
Uh-oh.
Oh.
Just
Basically, well, I know, like I said, everybody's car tells a story. And Shark Machine, aka Courtney, I know yours is you talked a lot about mental health. So I guess my question would be, and I heard you say, you're still dealing with it every day. How does it, I guess, dealing with it, from being younger to now, does it feel any different? I guess that's my question.
As far as me like handling my own mental health.
Yeah.
As I would say, it's a little bit. Honestly, I think I would say it's a little bit harder for me because growing up, I had like my family around, and it's sometimes like they want to not like suppress it, but just be like, oh, it's okay. You're going to be fine. You have your mom and your dad, or, your siblings and stuff like that. So then, I'll turn to them, and then that moment I feel okay. And then I just suppress it, and then I just move on. So it's like, as I initially kept growing up, something started to trigger, and I didn't know what was triggering it, because as I was growing up, I became more active. I kept myself busy because as a kid, I was just taught, stay busy. Go outside, go have fun. You will forget all about it, this and the third. So then when I get older and I start to I'm still busy, but it's like I literally try to take time to just slow down and cut everything off and just hit that reset button. And then when I do, I always get hit with a tsunami of emotions. And so then I'm having to break it down of okay, what triggered this emotion? Why I got mad? So I feel like for me, dealing with mental health, it's a constant battle. And I'm still trying to figure out some things. So it's a lot of childhood trauma, for sure. Right. Teenage trauma, stuff that I haven't dealt with, but it's literally it's a work in progress every day. Because I'm not gonna lie, there is some days I just be cut everything off. Don't even come to my house. Don't even look at, because I don't even want to look at my car, because I just feel how can I fight for something so hard for people in the world who don't have voices, who are scared to talk about it, and I can't talk about it myself as an adult. So it's I can be fine 1 minute, and the next day I'd be we're done. There's nothing else. So for my adult life, my mental health has been harder, because now I feel more by myself, fighting a battle by myself where nobody really understands.
Right. Yeah, and the reason I asked that question because I mean, I deal with a disease as well. I deal with alopecia. I grew up, from since I was about 4 or 5 years old. I've had alopecia. So, growing up, it was hard for me growing up because I was always that kid that got picked on. You know, so but as an adult now, I'm just looking at it as like trying to help other people as well, because I know as kids out there that have the same condition, and I pretty much want to just kind of let them know that it's all right, to be different, for one, and two, actually technically you're no different than nobody else anyway, because you can still do whatever you want to. Only thing that makes you different is your disease. But yet, you know, it's nothing to be sad about. So I know depression kicks in. I know I grew up with it. I would come home. I was the quiet, shy kid. I never really talked to nobody about it. Go to school, get picked on, come back. I'm just quiet. I didn't want to talk about it. I didn't want to say nothing. But I know it's a lot of people out there and a lot of kids out there that's the same way. But I want to let them know that it's all right. It's cool. It's cool to be hey, don't have no hair. It's cool. Hey, Michael Jordan had no hair, but he shaved it off. But but still, it's all right. I just and I'm more so as an adult. I accepted it more. I accepted it better than I did as a kid. So
Well, I guess I'll ask a question. Sweat Pack Shaq. I'm very interested to know. You said you dedicated your car to your wife. I'm very interested to know, why did you pick your car in general? So like, was it like, how did that start? Was she a car a car person, or you just like felt like you were already in the car doing the car anyways, like you dedicated to her, like, and then how do people receive that, like when you go to car shows? Like, I'm not a person that usually does like car shows. I'm kind of just I just show up, and if some people take some photos, that's just, it is what it is. Because I'll be honest, I don't like staying around. When I'm ready to go, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I've always been into cars, so cars is my thing, and like she always would tell me that I need to open a shop because I like customizing cars. I would like to do other things, other people's cars and stuff like that. So I was like, well, why not use the car? I'm starting a social media thing. She passed right when I started blowing up on social media. So I'm like, okay, what can I do to represent her in the things that I love doing? So I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and dedicate the cars to her, so.
That's good.
What-
I can understand that. So.
What motivated you to keep going after a tragedy like that, and not say, hey, like, not get derailed from a tragedy like that? Because in the midst of me getting into cars and stuff, I lost my little brother who was growing to love cars with me, and then I lost him, and I wanted to make my next car dedication to him as well. What motivated you to like keep going into dedicating that car to her?
You know how some people, when they lose someone, they either they turn to drinking, they turn to drugs, they turn to gambling or whatever. I turned to the cars. I threw all my money and everything. That's probably not good, but I threw all my money and everything into the cars, and I threw myself 100% into the cars, just so that way I could keep myself busy. Because if I'm sitting around not doing nothing, thinking about my life, I felt myself going into a depression. So I threw myself into the cars, and I just wanted to just keep going. What I could do to be better, what I could do to change, what I could do to have the latest and the greatest and all that. So as long as I kept myself in the cars, it was helping me from being depressed and in that sunken place, they would say,
I can understand that. The self-preservation, instead of, folding back in and, just drowning in the thoughts. You got out there and helps you deal with it. So
Yep.
I respect that, man. It's like an escape, man. You know,
Yeah.
you're happy
Huge escape.
place. So I feel on that. Creating and cruising, yeah, that's my escape.
Yeah.
You got any questions, Deuce?
No, man. They done said a lot of great things, man. And I've been looking at their bills. I'm just soaking it in, man.
So okay, well, I got a question for Swag, since he said he does a lot of customizations. What type of customization do you usually do to people's cars?
Right now, I got my business Swag Wraps. So right now, I'm doing wraps, and I also do lighting, underglow, interior lighting, engine bay, all that type of stuff. And I'm kind of tapped into the audio stuff, but I don't like to get too deep into it because audio gets complicated. But I don't like build boxes and stuff like that. I'll install it, but as far as like the complex building boxes, fabrications, and all that stuff, I don't do. So that's pretty much, what I'm doing now. So
And where can people find you at?
Swag Wraps you can find on Instagram. That's the only page I have for that. But as far as Swag Pack Shack, you can find me on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook.
Where can they go get the services done as well? Where are you located?
If they hit up my page, I'm located in Woodstock, Georgia. My shop's going to be in Kennesaw, Georgia. I'm actually had a couple meetings today on finding a new location. Currently I'm working out of my house, but I'm looking for new locations, and it's probably going to end up being in Kennesaw, Georgia. So if you just hit me up, we can go ahead and do some work.
All right. What's the symbolization of like? I haven't seen your wrap. I need to like look at your I guess on your Instagram. Swag Pack, like what's the symbolization of like your wrap? Like it's kind of like a marble-ish, like lightning kind of thing. Like what does that symbolize? Like how'd you even think about that?
It's marble. And back in 2019, it was all white marble, and the marble just represents my wife's. It represents her tombstone. So, 2019, it was all white marble, and I chose white and black. Representing her tombstone, and my mindset, dark, gloomy, not happy. That type of situation. And then the next year, I changed it to a blue reflective marble, more vibrant, showing that I'm making my way through this. I'm doing better. The color blue, vibrant, representing the sky and everything. The glow, the reflective on the wrap, representing her angel halo and all that. So, and then the next year after that, I combined the two to show the transition from dark and gloomy to better days. So the white faded to the blue. And then currently I have the camo on there, and the camo wrap represents all my wraps I've had the whole time I've had the car. So I have my wraps from 2017 all the way up until now. They're all combined into one. So I have the marble on there, but I have the marble into a camo pattern on the car now. So it's a whole lot of, piecing together. And I honestly don't know how I'd be coming up with stuff, but it just comes to me.
Well, I'm not gonna lie, that's nice. Like,
Courtney, do you have any like? So, do you like? I know yours I'm very interested in like it's kind of like those. Deuces probably knows like with the old classics. Like I don't know much about old classics, but you ever meet someone who like bought their car like they had it when they was 19. Usually older people, they had it when they was 19, and then like they bought a new one and they like built it up, and then they was like when I was 19 I had one of these kind of things. So I'm always interested in people's because for me cars is connection. I usually say people be like, well, I'm a person that's like, show me your car, I could pretty much tell you who you are, kind of thing. Like, cause that's what it is for me, personality. And so for your build, I know you said you haven't done much to it, but do you have any like plans to do anything to it like that? I know like Swag had, he changes his wrap. He said his wheels as well and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure you got some other plans too, but do you have any plans? I don't know if like You got anything for the future or whatever?
So when I initially got my car, I got it. What is this? 2025. I got my car right after I had hip surgery, and so the base color is white. So my Charger is originally white. So when I first started putting like customization on my car was purple and white with the shark on both sides. It didn't have nothing as far as like mental health wise, but I was still working in mental health. But at first I was just like, I want my shark to come alive. Like I want my shark to be riding around town with me. And so that's how I ended up putting the shark on my car initially. But then I got hit and the car took off my whole rear end. So then that put me in a bad state because I was like, how am I going to get, what's going to happen? The finances about it. So then when that happened, that's when I was like, you know what? Mental health really needs to be talked about because I went down in that rabbit hole and I was refusing to get out because I just was out of work for 5 years because of hip surgery. Then I got my Charger and then I was back out of a vehicle for almost 6 months to a year. And I was just like, that's it. Like I'm about to just go get me a bicycle at this point. Like, and stay on the sidewalk, because I was like, Jesus don't want me in the street. So he built sidewalks. I'm staying on them. So I was like, that's it for me. But so my mom was like, no, we're going to get your car fixed and we're going to dedicate it to mental health because you need to let people know, like, you can be in a dark place and you can come through it. Mm-hmm. And so then my car was green and white and it had Break the Stigma. And then when that was green and white, I ended up changing my exhaust to, because my car had like the normal diffuser with the ugly square diffuser in the back. So it couldn't really see anything. It was ugly. So I was like, we're going to change that. And I took that off, changed my exhaust to carbons and changed my tips to 4.5-inch carbons. And then I put a different diffuser on the car. So that was like my first exciting thing that I did. For it to be a V6, it's okay, So it was like that was one thing that I was excited about. And then of course I did like, just the minor things, the small things that I knew that won't be too hard. Like I put what I do? I put a spoiler, I put a winglet, like I did all that, changed my marker lights to LEDs, changed my headlights. But then my depression and stuff was just getting worse and worse. So then that's when I was like, let's just blow this up even more. Like, let's just do a fully wrap. Because a lot of people was not understanding just Break the Stigma. Yeah. And so it's like, I had to always explain, like, it's dealing with mental health awareness. And everybody was like, oh, just, suicide prevention and autism. And I was just like, that's not all that's with mental health.
Right.
And so I used to get like backlashes about my car too, because it was like, how can I be, not considerate of other causes? And I was like,
wow,
you see other causes and stuff. And I was like, I'm not knocking the other causes, but this is one cause that people don't talk about because they're ashamed to talk about it. Mm-hmm. So then that's when I end up coming out with the full wrap of, mental health awareness with my shark. And instead of, I think it also says Break the Stigma. And so Break the Stigma, my favorite gospel song is, Break Every Chain. So I have the chain on my car with the shark literally breaking it, like breaking through it. So then now people are actually understanding, like, okay, you want to stop, break the stigma of people not understanding people with mental health. Like, we're not crazy. We're just normal people out here in the world that just want to be understood. So that was like my big thing. And I just did the interior, I think it's like the ambiance lights. Is that how you say it? With like the lights on.
Yeah.
Ambiance. I don't know.
It's the same thing. I'll be honest with the word. So like
It is.
it kind of mean the same thing. So
Okay, so that's a new thing for me that I have put on my car, and my car is lowered and not on bags instead. I decided to just lower my car, so my tires are kind of tucked instead of bags. I couldn't do bags. The roads out here in Charlotte are horrible. Couldn't do it.
And to piggyback off what you just said, Courtney, I remember when your car was just, the white with the green on it. And when I first actually, I'm gonna be honest with you, you kind of inspired me to kind of rebuild my car to show a little bit more about alopecia awareness as well. Cause like I said, I'm kind of working on it. I'm a redo it and definitely dedicated for alopecia awareness. But like I said, when I saw that on your car, it was like, I'm like, okay. So, that definitely inspired me to try to work on mine as well. So I definitely appreciate you bringing it out and showing it to me, because the last time, I can definitely tell a whole difference once you redid it with your new wrap on there. But
I did that within a year, I think.
Yeah, because we were at we was at Mopars at the beach, and then the next year we went to Mopar Fever, and that's when you had the new wrap on there. So you definitely inspired me to kind of build mine the same way, and to try to help other people out there as well. So definitely appreciate you sharing your story and sharing your car with us.
Thank you.
So y'all, I gotta get ready to go lay my daughter down for bed. So I appreciate y'all having me on here.
Of course, of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
man.
Appreciate you.
Definitely
Yeah.
appreciate you being on here, man. Definitely would love to have you back once again on another episode, and
Yeah, just let me know.
Yeah, definitely keep you posted, man. And hopefully we can see each other in person one day.
Oh yeah, real soon we will. It'll happen.
Bet.
Nice
All right,
meeting
y'all.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
All right,
See you later.
All right.
Well, well, that was pretty much a good dialogue. Pretty much, we talked about everything. Obviously, hopefully everyone enjoyed meeting Swag Pack Shaq, meeting Courtney, aka Shark Machine, learning about their builds.
I think I met him in like not Charlotte, but Atlanta years ago when I had my Charger, because I had a 2020 RT Charger, and I don't remember when, but because I think I had bought it at the end of 2019, and I had drove to a car show in Atlanta at the Michelin. I think it used to be, it may still be called the same thing, but I haven't been there in a while. But it was called like the Michelin track or something like that, and they had a huge Mopar event out there. Other people showed up obviously, but I drove down there with some people, and I think I met him because I think at the time his car was all white marble.
Yeah.
And yeah, and I remember I saw that junk and I was like, that's just crazy.
Yeah. That's how it was when I saw him in Texas. I was like, Lord, look at this right here.
Like, I've seen a lot of raps.
It's amazing.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of raps in my day, and that's why I always tell people, like, that's why my car now, I didn't do a rap, because I've done them, been there, done that, and I know me, it has to be unique. Like, if I do it, I got to get it designed. So, like, it can't just be like, oh, I wrap it in green. Like, so I'm not paying, thousands of dollars just to get another color. So yeah, but yeah, I think I didn't meet him personally, but I saw his car.
Yeah. He was he's somebody I knew because obviously a couple of car shows, but he's really big on social media. Like he had a segment in one of the Mopar articles where his car was represented, and I got to see his actual full setup with his what is it called? The vision board and everything. He had the little lay with the stuff on the ground and everything, with the doors in the air. I was like, yo, if I can never get to this point, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely commend people who can like do the car shows because I thought about doing the car shows myself. Like maybe at some point I'll do that. But my main thing, my issue is always that like I don't want to stand around all day. Like I said, like the big car shows, they be starting in the morning and then they be going for like 3, 4, 5 hours. And like me, I'm like, bro, it ain't enough cars in here for me to be sitting around. And then you got to get there early because you got to check in early before the show even starts.
Yeah.
So that's why you do it online. You do early registration. You ain't got to worry about that.
You like pull in, like you got to pull in and set up. So like, because you got to get there early and you got to set up, and then it's a whole thing. Like, because I was like, man, I could do that, and I was just like, bro, the time it would take. And me, I kind of like, I'm at the point in my life, that I'm like, how much of my time is valued per dollar that I own return? So, I'm like, if I'm gonna be in the car show, it better lead to like a bunch of followers that make me some money or something like that. So, because this stuff ain't cheap, or some like brand deals for like some big parts. Because, hey man, this stuff is not cheap. One fender panel on my like the hood that I want to get right now is $6,000.
Oh,
and like and it's fully carbon fiber, and that's just to get the hood. That's not even to paint match it, get it custom paint match, get it installed. So
oh no.
hey man, I commend those people. Hey man, I can only do it if I'm getting paid at least something like brand deal or something. Because this stuff expensive.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. That's how I am sometimes when I go to shows, and I'm just like, I see everybody out there putting out like their cool displays, their boards that describes their vehicle and stuff, and I'm just like, do I really want to get all that for my car? Should I get that for my car too, so I don't have to explain my car? And so I just be like, I'm gonna just do my little display in my trunk and just my ribbons and stuff, because I'm like, shoot, Amazon should like sponsor me, because they're like my go-to for like my little mental health awareness stuff, and like people just be killing it and just be coming to get it and be like, do you got any more? And I'd be like, I got a little bit left, and I gotta go back home and order some more. So yeah, I'm like, man, that's the only thing that takes me away from the whole car show, because I'm just like, I don't want to set all that up.
Yeah.
And you gotta tear it down too. You gotta wait till the last person go. You gotta tear it down. I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm the type of person. I'm like, I pull in. People like, oh yeah, take some photos, and then I'm getting up out of here. Do my little lap, and I'm gonna go and get up out of here.
I'd be like that sometimes too. I'm like, should I get one of them displays? Even though I want to support, especially Black Pearl Showboards. I want to support them and stuff and whatnot. But it's like I don't think I want nothing so too extravagant, because now he's starting to build them with lights on them and all that stuff. I'm like, man, that stuff start getting, and like everybody know they get expensive.
Oh yeah.
I mean, cars in general are expensive. It don't matter what you do. You can buy a used car that you ain't pay that much for, and the parts is still like, I mean, just crazy. And especially with the tariffs and stuff, and a lot of parts is made overseas. They not even made in the U.S. Like it's just, it's a lot. Like I said, I always just commend the people who can do like car shows, because like it just takes a lot. A lot of time and dedication. And for me, I'm OCD about my car being clean too. So like then at that point, I'm not even driving the car. I'm trailering it everywhere. So like, because if I drive it there, then I'm gonna look at it, I'm like, bro, the wheel's dirty now. Like the front end's dirty now, and I gotta clean it. Yeah, it's a
lot.
whole thing.
It's a whole lot.
Well, while we chatting, let's just go ahead and wrap this episode up, but we can chat offline. So don't y'all go nowhere. we definitely appreciate everybody that tuned in. We know y'all don't want to see us blabbering around, whatnot. But we definitely appreciate Courtney and Swag Pack Chat for coming through and sharing your stories. I definitely appreciate it. Like I said, both of y'all, y'all inspired me to, rebuild mine and kind of to set it up more for alopecia awareness. So I definitely appreciate you all for doing that. So other than that, any last words from you, Courtney? Any last words that you would want everybody to know?
Really, the only thing I can say is just never give up. Don't give up. Like, this world is already a bad world, and we have to lean on each other. And I mean, us minorities, like, we need to be strong, what I'm saying, for each other, and talk to each one of everybody, because us not talking about our mental health, we won't get nowhere.
Yep.
And we need to be here for further generations, for these kids out here,
Yep.
But I do appreciate y'all inviting me on here and talking about my build. And of course, I'm always willing to come back on if anything, other topics, whatever, or want to know more about my story of my car, So I'm always down to get the awareness out there. So
you're definitely welcome. And also, not only we come up with topics, but if you have like a specific topic that you might have and you want to share, let us know.
Okay.
Because we definitely, would love to share it as well to let everybody else know. So, don't just wait for us. You can reach out to us too. So just let us know, if you got a topic that you might think is interesting and everybody should know. So
okay, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, fellas, did y'all have any last words for today's episode?
Thank y'all for tuning in again.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I just want to say that sometimes the war is necessary. Sometimes you have to fight, and don't stray away from it, because a lot of things have been accomplished by going to war. So, yeah, fight, resilience. One thing that this card game has taught me is, be consistent, and sometimes you got to fight. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta figure it out and be consistent. Keep moving forward. But yeah, war is necessary. So.
Awesome. And I guess I pretty much, just like Courtney said, don't give up. Don't think that you're alone in this. It's people around you that have the same thoughts or going through the same thing. So don't think that you're going through it alone. It's people around you. Just got to reach out.
Yeah.
Don't stay quiet on them. Reach out to people. Especially if they say they're there for you. Reach out to them. So, and that's my 2 cents.
Definitely.
But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and wrap this up. We appreciate everybody tuning in, and until the next episode, Courtney, don't go nowhere. We will holler at y'all later. Y'all take care.
Peace.
See you later.